Hi there, welcome back to Dates with Kiki. Thank you for staying tuned. I'm going to continue from where we stopped. Now, my first question, which I'll direct to Mr. Kenny Alabi, is what are the crucial aspects or crucial elements of masculinity that we should promote in our world today?
Crucial element is to be steadfast. And I'm a scientist, so I always channel all my debate in the scientific way. First thing first, you have to be healthy to face challenges of life, rigors of life. To even be able to make the right decision, you have to be mentally balanced. And that will come from your healthiness, your eating habits. Then you can think straight. You are not under too much stress. Relax and eat, sleep when you need to sleep, so you can channel things in the right perspective. So those are some characteristics that I feel that you have to exhibit masculinity.
Okay. Do you have a contrary view?
No, not really. But I think I just want to add to it. I think one of the things that one needs to encourage in masculinity, one of the elements of it is courage. I think courage is one of the things that we need to look at when you have to have courage as a man to do certain things at every stage in your life. That's one thing. Courage could be looked up in different ways, and I used to refer back to my dad in terms of the things I've seen with him. As a man, if you talk about masculinity and courage, they go hand in hand. And being courageous doesn't mean that you're showing that strength or those physical things and all of that. I think at times it means that you should be able to make some decisions that supports your family. For example, I noticed I experienced something in my dad. My dad happens to be an accountant when he was, still alive and all of that. And he did that to the best of his knowledge. He was doing it as a sales side. He was fine with it. But my mom was a businesswoman. And I know that my dad encouraged her to go into business, do whatever she can do. So that encouragement to do everything she can do, to be the best and everything like that. But there was a turning point in his life when he had to stop what he was doing to join my mom. To support her in her business. Now, masculinity, that's masculinity for me. That's courage for me, because I could look at it a different way. I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing, and I love what I'm doing. So at times I look at myself and think, can I stop what I'm doing, the love of what I'm doing, to step back and join my wife for certain things? Now, that's a decision he had to make for himself and the family. And for me, I saw that as a courageous thing to do, and that's real masculinity. That's you leaving whatever you want to do to support your wife, because you know that woman is in a stage and she's fragile at that particular time in her business, and she needed some sort of support to do it. So he could have said, I'm a man, you decide to do that business yourself, I'm making my own money where I want it, or push her or crush her down. But the thing is, she gave her the platform to grow. And when he saw the opportunity to come in as well and to support her to be better than what she was, he did the same thing. So for me, being courageous is that being, not what I mean, not being self-sacrifice to be able to do certain things to help your other partner, and that's masculinity.
Mr. Femi, Mr. Tunde said something. That didn't crush her down. That didn't, leave her to quote and unquote perish with her decision that it's going wrong. How do we help men? Because now, with what you said, I know that there are men who crush their wives. How do we help them? What do we say? How can we help this situation? Because that's not courage with what you have said. That's timidity. To crush your wife, that's what it means. Because you saying that, do that, is courageous on that part. How do we help men who crush the women?
I think I'll start answering that question with a thought that came to my mind. There was a time I was looking at a man shall leave his wife and leave his father and mother and cleave to his Wife. I was studying it some years ago, and another verse, I can't remember, another thing in I think it's Ephesians 5 too, that came to mind at the same time. So I was not trying to mark the two. Okay, man leaving his family, extended family, father and whatever, and cleaving to his wife. Then I saw that so that a man should love his wife as Christ loved the church. And I looked at how did Christ love the church? By laying his life down, so ready to die for you. So I said to myself, what I'm supposed to do is to leave my father and my mother physically, if you can say emotionally, but not leaving them as in, you get what I mean, and cleave to my wife and love my wife as Christ loved the church, that I can lay my life down for her. And I said to myself at that point in time that I am going to do exactly that, God being my helper. And what that means for me is I want to love this person even at the detriment of my own desires, needs, and all of that. Because Jesus did not look at his own life, that he's going to die, or he was going to die. He just looked at, I want to die for these people. So he was ready to die. So I'm going to link it that, for me, what opened my mind to the way I think now was the fact that if I love my wife as Christ loved the church, I'm loving myself. Because in Genesis as well, say my flesh, she was taken from me. So she's me, invariably. So if I crush her, I'm crushing myself. If I nurture her, I'm nurturing myself. And we're having a discussion the other time, as in if you crush your wife or you allow external people to crush her and you open your eyes to see it, to see that, and you allow it, she's going to give it back to you. And the effect is on you. So, to the best of my ability, our emotional state, physical state, everything is important to me for my own sake. I'm not being selfish by doing that, but I'm doing that because that's what is expected of me. That's what loving her as Christ loved the church means to me. That if anything happens to her, I think even in that verse, in that particular 2, 3, 4 verses, so it's talking about that I should present her like whatever. Christ being, presenting the church to God and all of that. So how do I want to present her? Crushed? No. I want to present her that this is the bone of my bone, the flesh that you have given to me, more beautiful than you gave out to me, not crushed. So I think that's if men can see it from that angle, that if I nurture her, if I love her, if I crush her, if I do this, whatever I do to her, I'm doing to myself, and it's going to affect. If she's not happy, you're not going to be happy. You'll probably just be trying to get happiness outside.
Exactly, and even that you won't get.
You won't get. Yeah, it's not happiness you're going to get outside if you go outside. You can only get that happiness from her if you want to live according to whatever. But if you try to say, okay, whatever, and all of that, it's coming back to you. You're not going to be happy at the end of the day.
Mr. Julie, would you want to add anything to that?
Well, my own line of thing might just come in form of empathy. As in, try to actually put yourself in her position. If you are to go through the same thing she's going through, how will you feel? There's a saying that says, do unto others the way you want them to do to you. So empathy is the main thing. At least try as much as possible to mold yourself into the same shoe she's actually presently going through and see exactly what she's going through. So, in other way, try to handle her. I can't call her a weaker vessel because I don't really like that statement. When they say your wife is a weaker vessel, so you have to actually handle her with care. No, because according to what my Femi just mentioned just now, she's a better half of you. Two of you actually make one. So you just have to work, fight, and face things in unity.
Yeah, thank you very much. Empathy, and then treating her as though knowing that she's a part of you. Because whatever you do to her, you have done to yourself. Thank you very, very much. This has been interesting. Now, to a very interesting question. What's the worst part of masculinity? Don't go there. That aspect of masculinity.
I can't really say that is a worst part of masculinity. It just depends on the individuals. Because, like there's some people, there's some guys that will tell you, now, so your wife did you do that to you? But they're actually going through the same, even worse than what you mentioned today. So
Deception.
Exactly, deception. To me, a man should just be a man. I don't believe in all this being egocentric, being wicked to your spouse or to your kids. That makes you a man. No, just be who you are, not being defined by what the society are saying or by what friends are telling you. Be who you are.
Knowing the right thing and sticking to it.
I think to add to what you said, I think orientation could affect masculinity. And orientation could affect the way you react as a man. But being a man is defined by who you are, like you just said. Like you have to define yourself as a person. Because we've seen it all. Some people believe that no matter what, my wife should not even be any more than me. That's why the word crushing can come in.
Yeah.
They believe that by the time she's here, I won't be able to even talk to her.
She won't listen to you again.
So that's why I said orientation. And then you have to define yourself as a person, and then understand the nooks and pros and cons about what you're doing. And if you know the pros and cons as a human being and you are yourself, you'll be able to channel and know that all those things means nothing. Because at the end of the day, it's the wife that makes home. Let's face it. So if I see that is my wife that makes home, if she's happy, I'm happy. And let's face it, not because Lady Kiki is here. If my wife wants something to happen in the house, it will happen.
I agree with you, absolutely.
If my wife does not want something to happen, there's a way she'll do it and it will not happen. And then you find yourself that, hang on,
I agree with you.
what are we doing? So that's how women are powerful. I lost my dad about 25 years ago, and my mom is still as strong as anything. And you now begin to see that women are strong. Emotionally, they are even stronger than men. Let's face it. When I've seen something will happen to a woman, and the next year you see the man, she's already rickety. And then you see a woman, even after the whole thing, he will sit down and then to structure, say things, and then say, that is, and then you'll be a man now to actually say, okay, yeah, that is sense. But some people, they won't even listen to that. They won't even allow the wife to even get to that stage of advising. So that's why I said orientation matters a lot. But you yourself as a person, you have to define yourself. And then you know how to balance them.
So can I say something to what you just said? Orientation, I absolutely agree with you. When we're doing believers class, something, I can't remember when, I was in Fountain of Life then, the guy that was taking us said something, said, they just promoted my wife last week. Why should I be upset about that? That I haven't gotten promotion and all of that. The level where my wife is right now is like times 10 of where I am. They just gave her 2 Jeep. You know what I said to myself? We have 2 Jeeps, extra 2 Jeeps in the house. I will drive it. She cannot drive the 2.
Exactly.
I will drive it. So why should I be upset with her and be crushing her because she's been promoted and all of that? I should love her more now, because she's even earning more than you. She can say, we are not doing this, because she's not doing it. So this is when I should even show my love more, not in pretense, but in acting like I'm happy for you.
Exactly.
And she'll be like excited that, oh, my husband is happy for me. It's not that time we'll now be crushing.
Exactly.
And
so that's an effect of negative masculinity.
That is totally, I don't even see that one as masculinity. I can't call it stupidity. I see it as insecurity.
absolutely.
Not insecure.
Yeah.
The fact that your wife is earning more than you, so is it not the same pot you guys are actually putting the whole thing? And then why do you have to compete with your wife?
Exactly.
It's insecurity. I agree with you.
Insecurity.
And that's what leads to that negative masculinity, really. It's the insecurity that leads to that negative, that will now bring that ego, that power out.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to crush you. I need to bring you down.
Exactly.
It's because they are insecure. That's when that toxic masculinity will come out from them.
By the time, few times now, I won't be able to control her.
Why do you need to control her in the
You
first
need
place?
to control your wife. She's your wife. She's not your slave.
This is getting interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've been talking about masculinity, the negative part, if there is, and the positive part, and all of that. Now, looking at our young boys that are growing today, how do we, teach them what real masculinity is? How do we model? I don't want to use the word model. How do we teach them? How do we promote, positive masculinity to our children, our boys?
It's our boys seeing someone that they look up to, and they can learn from what those people are doing. There's several times we've talked about experiences and stuff like that, and we keep talking about our parents, our dad and our mom and all of that. And I think it's because we've seen something. Okay, if we haven't seen it, we wouldn't know what to do. Again, it's you can debate it. The story goes like there's a drunkard who lives in a village, and he's so drunk, and he had two boys. Every time he's drunk completely. The two boys grew up, and one of them became very good, fantastic. The other one was a drunkard like the dad. So when they asked them the question, why did both of you end up that way? They said,
I don't want to be like my
dad. That's why the other one refused to drink and all of that. The other one said he saw nothing but his dad, and that was why he became. So their dad became two things to both of them. One refused it because their dad was this. He's got this weakness which he never wants to do, and he fought his way out of it. So he would never touch alcohol. He would never do anything. So people might say, "You're not what he would never do," just for that fact, because he doesn't want to do it. But the other one saw anything, nothing about it. Just thought, I can manage it. Yeah, I wouldn't get to his stage. I can manage it. I won't get. Then he started dabbling into it. Before he knew it was exactly like that. So both of them, So, and that's what I'm saying. We become a role model, but it's what we see in people that we want to do. It's what we see in people that we want. So that's what I think our boys and our kids will always look at, that role model. Same thing they'll say to a girl. A girl would always either marry somebody who's exactly like his father or opposite his father. Why is it opposite his father? Either he doesn't like his father's attitude towards things and he's going to look for somebody different from his father, or he's going to look for somebody exactly like his father because he likes what the father do and what the father means to him. So, and that's what we're talking about, being a role model to them.
I think if I want to just say anything is, again, it's being close to your son, so that at least you can share ideas, talk to them. Like from where we came from, I mean, you hardly even talk to your dad in our own days. But these days, it's good to actually talk to your son, so that he is not even afraid of you. He can come in and say, "Okay, yes, this is me here." Oh, daddy, like my son one day said, "Oh, daddy, how will you feel if I have a girlfriend?" It was around 10 then, and I said,
My son has asked me to attend.
You understand? You can't shut him up.
At 20, could you ask your dad that?
No way. I was still living under my dad. No way. You understand? So you can't shut him off. Because if you shut him up next time, he will not answer you that question.
He will not ask again.
And he will do whatever he wants.
So that's someone else.
That the rapport must be there. Oh, it's not yet time for that. Okay, you need to still get here and there. And then he will understand. And then above all things, let's teach them the godly way. When they go to church. Because the society is terrible.
Full of
terrible, and the hours they spend out is more than what they spend. So the little you can channel them in the godly way, I think that will help as well in terms of how they behave or their moral exposure and things like that.
Mr. Jericho, you've got two teenage boys. How do you role model being a man to them?
In all honesty, I believe in this role modeling stuff. But there's another clause again which I would like to talk about, which is, I'm just talking generally now. Can you give what you don't have?
Obviously not.
Because when you're saying, like I'm talking in general now, fine, it's good because kids look up to you. That's my dad. Even when they're no more under you, when they go out there, they say, "Oh, okay, my dad won't do this. Why should I?" But most things in this world nowadays, or maybe because the world is now turned upside down, the dad self is still having a mental age of a 5-year-old boy or 10-year-old boy. So in a situation like that, how would a child normally supposed to copy his dad and see what others are saying and try to actually strike balance in between the two?
I think what Mr. Julugo is trying to say is a boy who is growing up and then there is no father to even look up to. The father has got nothing to offer to the child. Like the example you gave of that drunk man or something.
We can't say hope is lost for that kind of a person, but it's going to be more difficult than a child growing up in an environment where, or in a space where his dad can actually be a role model and all of that. It's going to be a challenge for that person, but it's not like an hopeless thing, because it depends. At certain ages, different ages for different people, they begin to think that I don't want to be this, even if that dad is not portraying what the guy wants to do or something when he grows up. But at that point, he's looking at that dad doing something negative and like, I don't want to be this. Like the example Mr. Onilari shared the other time, that one boy decided, I'm not just going to be like this guy. So you can actually be a dad, because they can grow up in an environment where the dad doesn't have anything to give. Because that's what he said, you can't give what you don't have. And two children in that same environment, one can turn out well and the other may not turn out well. So it now depends on who are they exposed to outside home again. So it could be the church, it could be maybe a teacher in school, it could be, I know someone who, the person that modeled him was his teacher in school, not his parent. When we're talking about, we're talking earlier on about innovation that is coming up, we should develop different skills for different things, and all, because you don't know what is going to be outdated and all of that. This guy is a medical doctor, is an certified IT, whatever, it's a chartered accountant. Can you see two different odd whatever? So he has like 3 different companies. He works as a medical doctor in the UK. And who mentored him? A teacher in his secondary school. So the teacher, they were in a boarding school and all that. So anytime they go into the teacher's, what's it called now? The teacher's house or something, they see different books of different disciplines and all of that. And the guy was always telling you, never know which one you're going to need later. That's why I have engineering book, I have philosophy book, I have this, and I read everything. So there's no book that you find in my library that I haven't read. And the guy got motivated by that and he started reading different things, accounting, biochemistry, anatomy, different things. So by the time he wanted to do JAMB and all of that, he was confused because he already has an idea of almost everything. And he now said to himself, what if I do everything? He first became a medical doctor. So he moved to the UK. Before he moved to the UK, he started doing his ACCA. He completed it. He got to the UK, he did IT certification, different things and all of that. So sometimes you can get a contracting job for medical, whatever. You will go ahead and do it. You can say, okay, I'm just tired of that, as in, I want to change what I'm doing. As I'm speaking to you, the guy's doing different things, and he was motivated, he was mentored by someone out of his home. That's where I'm going. That some people will just find out that at certain ages, they'll find out that I don't think I can get what I need from this space. Then I need to look elsewhere to get mentored and all of that. So when you say you don't want to use the word role model the other time, I was actually thinking in my mind that that's actually the best way, easiest way to actually portray what these people should be when they grow up, as in by not just telling them, by doing what we want them to be. So they watch you more than they listen to you. So they will do stuff that you would do, that they see you do, than they will do what you are saying to them. So you can't be saying something to them and they think that you're doing something different. They'll probably be thinking that's hypocrisy, and why? And these kids, they'll challenge you. They'll say, but Dad, you didn't do that and all of that. When we ask them to go, my boys, we ask them to go and sleep at 8:30 and all of that. They used to challenge that before. I said, but you guys are not sleeping at 8:30. So now you explain to them that how many hours does a 10-year-old need? Check it online. And they'll tell you, even before checking, they'll tell you, okay, you need 10 hours, 8 hours. Okay, check how many hours does an adult need. So they will say that one as well. So you see why you have to go to bed at 8:30? It's not responding to them that way, that I'm telling you to go to bed, you are challenging me. No. He asked the question, why are you guys not going to bed at 8:30? You're asking us to go to bed at 8:30. Then you explain why to them. And I always tell them, and that's another way I think I'm modeling something to them. I still said it last night. Is it challenged that last night? But tomorrow is not school day. We're even on half time and all of that. Why do we need to go to bed at 9? And I said to them that I need to spend at least 1 hour with my wife after you guys go to bed. If I can't get 2 hours, I always want 2 hours. But if you guys go to bed at 10, so you're asking me to sleep at 12 o'clock. And what time do I wake up? They tell me I wake up at 5 o'clock. So how many hours of sleep have I gotten? How many hours of sleep am I supposed to get? They'll say this, oh, it's not balancing. So we need to balance it. So that's why I'm asking you to go to bed. I said, okay. And all of that. So we just, and they'll go, no, I mean, we've had that discussion with them. If you ask a question once, you have the right, we can answer you. And if you respond to you ask the third time again, that's being rebellious. But asking a question the first time, there's no big deal in that. You challenge what I say the second time, yeah, that's okay. And I'll still explain to you, I won't take it against you. But once you now start taking it beyond, that's what the Yoruba say, so.
Wow, this has been an interesting one. Thank you so very much, guys. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Now, what's one last sentence or advice do you have for a fellow man out there about masculinity?
I think for the last thing I would say is every man should know that we as men, we grow into the role which we have. We become a man gradually. It's not something you achieve in a day. It's something that we develop and we continue to grow into it. So different experience for different days.
Thank you. Different experience for different days. Mr. Labi?
In one sentence, I would just say a man should use his wisdom or seek wisdom when there are challenges or when dealing with situations.
Seek wisdom, not necessarily strength all the time. Thank you. Mr. Jerugo?
Yeah, man should not try to correct his own error, maybe his past error, through his child or through his children, by forcing them to actually, you just notice something you've done wrong before, and you can't correct those ones again. You just want to put things right in the life of the children, forgetting that children have their own uniqueness
their own
from you. So let should just be and allow kids just the way they are.
Okay, thank you.
What I would say to men, and I say to myself as well, is whatever I do to my wife, my kids are watching, or other kids are watching, and they'll probably live their life when they grow up based on what they have seen me do. So not only because I report to someone before I even do whatever I do, which is God, not only because of that. So if you don't want to take it, if you want to take it to the space where we operate, other people are watching what I do, and my kids would respond or would treat their wives when they grow up the same way they see me. Most likely, like 95% chance that they would do that. So every step I take, every word I speak, every action I engage in every day, I take that into consideration.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. This has been an awesome one. I am sure you would have learned a lot from this. I have as well, even though I'm a woman. I need to be careful the way I live my life as well, because others are watching me, and it's not by strength. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
It's been an interesting one. I'll see you again soon, and until I come your way, stay blessed. Bye.